In the early morning, as you bask in the comforting aroma of your beloved coffee, gently perusing the news, suddenly, words come crashing down like icy rain, leaving you feeling as though you've been doused with a bucket of cold water. Perhaps it's a sharp comment from someone, or an unfriendly gesture, and in an instant, your day seems to lose its sparkle. Facing toxic individuals is a challenge we often encounter, but our response can completely alter the course of events. Have you ever noticed how sometimes a negative comment can linger in your mind longer than a compliment? Like a stain on clothing, not easily washed away. Yet, your strength lies in seeing that stain, but choosing not to let it ruin your clothes, nor your day. Because you understand that these stings do not reflect your essence, but stem from others' inner struggles and insecurities. At this moment, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius shines forth in contemplation. He said, when others reproach you, despise you, or express similar criticism, delve deep into understanding their inner selves, see what kind of people they are. In doing so, you realize there's no need to fret over their views of you. This perspective invites us to transcend surface interactions, to understand the deeper motivations behind others' actions. This moment of confrontation with negative emotions also offers a unique opportunity for self-reflection. Therefore, I challenge you to delve into your innermost being, peeling away layers of expectations and societal masks, to see which truths have been obscured by others' judgments. Have you allowed others' negative emotions to define your day or your worth? Let us embark on this journey of self-discovery together, seeking strategies that not only allow us to deal with toxic individuals but also enhance our self-awareness. Lesson 1: Self-awareness. Perhaps in your life, you've encountered those individuals who always seem to touch upon your sensitive points. We often refer to these people as toxic because they're like a fog, permeated with negativity, making it difficult to see clearly. But what if I told you there's a way to clear this fog, allowing you to navigate through it without losing your way? It all begins with self-awareness. Much like knowing you're allergic to fog keeps you at a distance, understanding your response to toxic individuals can keep you emotionally grounded. This reminds me of the wisdom imparted by an old fencing master, who taught that true fencing skill lies not only in the attack, but also in knowing precisely when to dodge. Whenever a toxic person erupts, envision yourself executing a perfect sidestep. You won't be harmed because you're aware of your boundaries and respect them enough not to let anyone cross them. This doesn't require anger or retaliation, just quiet and steadfast self-awareness. Incorporating this understanding into your daily life isn't as challenging as you might imagine. Think of it as a habit, much like tying your shoelaces. Initially, you'll need to focus your attention, but eventually, it'll become second nature to you. When faced with negative emotions, take a step back and ask yourself, why does this bother me? Or what can I learn from this? These questions aren't about making excuses for others, but about strengthening your own mental resilience. Take some time to understand that this journey won't always be smooth sailing. Self-awareness and navigating through the fog of others' negative emotions aren't fairy tales. There will be days when it feels easier to react than to respond, but that's only temporary, and it feels hollow because it betrays your nature. Whenever you choose to respond instead of react, remember, you're doing so not because it's the easy choice, but because it's the right one for you. It's a process of building your inner fortress, not stemming from arrogance, but from a place of strength and tranquility. It's not about ignoring negative emotions, but acknowledging them without letting them define your actions. So, embrace this challenge. It'll sharpen you, make you more resilient, and undeniably stronger in the long run. Lesson 2: Forgiveness and Memory. Cast your gaze upon the sky. Can you feel how the stars shine brightly, even amidst the darkness? Consider these stars as the people who add value to your life, illuminating your path with understanding and empathy. However, you may also encounter black holes, representing toxic individuals who seek to pull you into their darkness, stripping away your joy and energy. So, the question arises, is there a way to navigate through this cosmic stage of relationships without being drawn in by these black holes? Imagine yourself as a spacecraft, not powered by hydrogen but by courage and wisdom. This courage is your forgiveness, a force that allows you to pardon others' wrongdoings, transcending any toxic influence. Forgiveness frees you from the gravitational pull of painful memories and resentment. However, every spacecraft needs a navigation system, and this is your memory, the guardian of your life experiences, whispering in your ear, reminding you to change course when encountering known black holes on your journey. In fact, our past encounters with toxicity are not shackles, they are markers on the star chart, guiding us towards safer orbits. Every lesson learned from dealing with toxic individuals, every intense emotion, becomes a beacon, reminding us of what to avoid and helping shape our interactions. The combination of forgiveness and memory is the compass guiding us through the intricate constellations of relationships. Keep these thoughts in mind as I invite you to reflect on your journey amidst the starry sky of relationships. Who do you see shining brightly like stars, and towards whom do you need to turn away like black holes? Utilize your forgiveness as the fuel propelling you forward, and let your memory help you avoid repeating the same patterns on the stage of relationships. In the intricate ballet of life, let us aspire to be spacecraft carving paths through the chaos of the universe, driven by the power of forgiveness and guided by the wisdom of memory. Lesson 3: Emotional stability. Being surrounded by toxic individuals in life is akin to navigating through thick fog. You may lose sight of the direction forward, feeling uncertain with every step. But what if I told you there was a way to dissipate the fog, originating from within, through the power of emotional stability cultivated by Stoicism? Imagine that person who remains seemingly unaffected by chaos, like a mountain standing firm amidst a storm. It's not about being indifferent or cold, it's about recognizing that the only thing we truly control is how we respond to the external world. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies in our response, rather than attempting to control the uncontrollable. Thus, when faced with toxicity, we invoke our inner stoicism, rather than getting swept up in the drama. We pause, as if in the eye of the hurricane, where everything outside is wild, but inside is calm. This space allows us to breathe, reflect, and then act from a place of rational tranquility. The key is to shift the focus from what is happening around us to how it affects our inner peace. So how do we do this? Through the practice of mindfulness. Yes, it's been widely talked about these days, but the real key here is that it does indeed work. Mindfulness enables us to maintain detachment, observing the chaos without being drawn into it. It's not about ignoring toxicity, but acknowledging it without letting it dictate our peace. Realize that, like clouds in the sky, these moments will pass. So the next time you find yourself engulfed in negative emotions, remember that you are the architect of your inner calm, and build it steadfastly. Lesson 4: Setting boundaries. Imagine stepping into a world where every interaction with others is like a stroke on the canvas of your day. Some strokes are vibrant and uplifting, adding to the beauty of your existence. Yet, there are also strokes that are heavy and discordant, left behind by toxic individuals in your life. These interactions not only leave marks, but also alter the entire masterpiece of your day, even affecting your emotions and self-perception. Now, think of the ancient Stoics. They were masters of their own minds, not by avoiding adversity, but by building walls within. They knew that not every opinion, criticism, or negative energy deserved their attention. What if I told you that dealing with toxic individuals can be approached in the same stoic manner? It's not about constructing an impenetrable wall, but rather choosing when to open which doors. This selective openness doesn't make you less humane, but rather turns you into the curator of your own masterpiece. Imagine your energy as a finite and precious resource, akin to water in the desert. Each interaction you engage in is like giving away a droplet of that water. Would you rather give it to those who sow seeds in your desert, allowing it to flourish, or to those who let it evaporate under the mocking sun? Setting boundaries is about wisely investing your energy, not with arrogance or disdain, but with the cool determination of a stoic who knows their own worth and the value of their time. It's about calmly communicating, "These are the boundaries I've set because my peace doesn't allow negotiation." So let us proceed with this mindset, seeing each day as an opportunity to create your masterpiece, investing your energy where miracles can be wrought. Remember, respecting yourself by setting boundaries is not an act of aggression, but a display of self-respect and wisdom. From today onwards, transform the landscape of your life not by eliminating people, but by delineating the boundaries of your garden and the beginning of the wilderness, and observe how the scenery changes. Lesson 5: Energy Wisdom. Have you ever found yourself sharing space with someone whose energy feels like a thunderstorm, turning your clear day upside down? Navigating the turbulent waters of interaction with toxic individuals can challenge even the calmest mind, but let us turn our focus inward and explore the concept of energy wisdom as our compass. Imagine your energy as a protective barrier, much like ancient city walls, shielding your peace and blocking unwelcome negative energy. Now, consider the power of choice in these situations, akin to deciding what fuel to give your car, determining its performance and longevity. You have the power to choose how to engage with and respond to individuals with high energy consumption, with patience and understanding, or by choosing not to engage at all, which can be your super fuel, optimizing your emotional well-being and maintaining your steady course. This is not about avoiding conflict, but rather arming yourself with wisdom to make choices aligned with your tranquility. Mastering this wisdom goes beyond mere self-control. It's about creating such a solid space around you that even the most powerful storms cannot shake your foundation. Like a tree deeply rooted in the earth, you may sway but not break, because you've mastered the art of bending with the wind. This power and flexibility disarm toxic energy, leaving it no choice but to dissipate or depart. Now, I invite you to reflect on how you manage your energy when facing adversity. Think about those moments when others' negative emotions overwhelmed you. Did you let their storms obscure your sky, or did you shine even brighter, guiding both parties back to calm? This journey is not about becoming unaffected, but rather recognizing the reservoir of power and wisdom within you, always ready to face any challenge. Pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of the strength you possess. How will you wield this energy wisdom as you move forward, not only protecting your peace, but also guiding others along the way? Remember, the true test of your inner strength is not how you avoid the storm, but how you dance in the rain. Lesson 6: Focus on goals. You know, when you set your sights on something you truly want, whether it's mastering a new skill, reaching a fitness goal, or making progress on a personal project, it feels like you're walking on a clear path, doesn't it? But suddenly, you encounter people or situations that dampen your spirits. These encounters can almost push you off track, like a gust of wind redirecting a paper plane. Needless to say, it's frustrating. Take Jordan's story, for instance. Jordan wholeheartedly dove into launching a small online business. Waves of skepticism from friends and family rolled in, some openly doubting, while others subtly suggested safer routes. It's a scenario many of us are familiar with. Instead of getting caught up in meaningless debates or trying to prove his ambition, Jordan focused on upgrading his skills, broadening his knowledge, and gradually building his business. What can we learn from Jordan's journey? A steadfast belief in his vision and a determination not to let negative emotions derail his path. This brings us to the question of how to deal with toxic individuals, a skill that requires finesse. Ascetics have profound insights. They focus on what we can control, and let's face it, changing others isn't in that category. However, managing our responses to them is entirely within our grasp. It's about maintaining a psychological barrier, ensuring that negative emotions don't invade and affect our judgment or spirit. Much like a raincoat in a storm, it can't stop the rain, but it keeps you dry. That's the resilience we're after. So the next time you find yourself facing doubt or negativity toward your plans or ambitions, think of Jordan. Instead of expending your energy on convincing critics, channel it into solidifying your own path. Smile, nod, and carry on with your efforts. You have goals to achieve, and no negative emotion deserves space in your mind, and certainly not rent-free. Embrace asceticism, focus on your actions, enjoy the process, and let setbacks become mere whispers in the background. This is your journey, and you're the sole navigator. Lesson 7. Seeking support. Occasionally, we encounter individuals who seem to challenge our inner peace on multiple levels. You know, those people who feel like dark clouds on a sunny day. It's like being stuck in quicksand. The harder you try to stay calm, the more you sink into frustration or anger. This is the complex dynamic we often find ourselves in when dealing with toxic individuals. It's a test of our patience, but more importantly, a test of our asceticism. But let's take a closer look. Seeking support in these situations doesn't signify weakness, it demonstrates wisdom. Just as a candle can break the darkness, sharing your struggles with understanding individuals can illuminate paths you didn't see before. These people bolster our resolve, not by fighting our battles for us, but by reminding us of the strength of our spiritual resilience. Imagine having a sage by your side, offering advice from a fountain of experience. That's priceless support that can help us navigate toxic environments with grace, tapping into our inner ascetic power. We need to recognize when external perspectives can assist us. That's when understanding comes in. While we can't control others' actions, we certainly can control our reactions to them. Through the art of asceticism, we learn how to detach, to view situations from a higher perspective, much like zooming in and out on a map, seeking alternative routes we may have missed. When seeking support, we allow ourselves space to breathe, reflect, and choose responses carefully, ensuring they align with our values and sense of calm. Now, take a moment to reflect on your own encounters with challenging individuals. How do you navigate these waters? Are you attempting to go it alone, relying solely on your own strength, or adopting the perspective of seeking support, which could change everything? Remember, a true ascetic isn't marked by silence or solitary endurance of pain, but by knowing when and how to leverage the wisdom around us to tread this path in a lighter, more understanding way. Lesson 8. Managing negative self-talk. Do you remember the first time you encountered someone whose energy felt like a rainy day? We've all had those moments where the negativity of others pulls us downward. Surprisingly, when dealing with toxic individuals, our internal dialogue can either become our armor or our fatal weakness. Imagine your mind as a garden, and every thought about yourself is a seed. Planting seeds of strength and resilience can help us stand tall. However, if we sow seeds of doubt and fear, those toxic weeds begin to choke out all that is beautiful. But that's only part of the story. Walking away isn't always an option, and that's where ancient ascetic wisdom comes into play. It's not about what happens to us but how we respond to it. Asceticism inspires us that true power lies in our reactions. So, when navigating through the negative influences of others, carefully monitor your dialogue with yourself. Instead of asking, "Why do I have to deal with this?" consider how you can emerge stronger from the encounter. It might cultivate resilience, empathy, or the courage to maintain boundaries. Changing your perspective isn't just playing with words, it's reclaiming your power. Another tool at your disposal is that small yet potent thing called detachment. Not indifference, nor apathy, but simply choosing wisely where your energy flows. Imagine negative comments from others as arrows. Now, if your self-esteem is an indestructible shield, those arrows cannot touch you. It doesn't mean you won't feel the sting at times, but remember, it's only when you allow yourself to be hurt that those arrows truly pierce you. So, take some time to reflect. How often do you let external negativity influence your self-talk? Controlling this doesn't mean building a fortress around your mind. It means understanding your worth, realizing your reactions are your power. Sometimes, it's just deciding not to relinquish your peace. Asceticism isn't a heartless existence, it's choosing which battles are worth your heartbeat. Remember, the only thing you truly have control over in this life is yourself. Lesson 9: Solution-oriented approaches. Have you ever asked yourself how to deal with those inevitably toxic individuals you encounter? It's like navigating through thick fog, every step feeling uncertain, the air heavy. The key lies in adopting a problem-solving mindset deeply rooted in ascetic principles. This approach creates a stage for us to transform these interactions into opportunities for personal growth and emotional wisdom, rather than sources of frustration. As you might imagine, changing encounters with toxicity requires creativity. Much like playing chess, you need to think several moves ahead, anticipate reactions without becoming emotionally entangled. This means listening more and speaking less, responding with calmness, a trait admired by many but mastered by few. This strategic creativity allows you to maintain inner peace, not swayed by chaos. Adaptability is your best friend in these situations. It's the ability to uphold your values in the face of challenging personalities. Imagine yourself as a tree, firmly rooted yet flexible in the wind, swaying but not breaking. In the face of toxic storms, this resilience strengthens your character and equips you to face any tempest. Now, I invite you to reflect. How do you react when faced with negativity or manipulation? Remember, the presence of toxic individuals may not be within your control, but how you respond is. By adopting an ascetic, solution-oriented mindset, you not only avoid negative traps, but actively shape a life filled with peace, resilience, and dignity. Remember, on a macro scale, it's not the obstacles we face that define us, but rather how we overcome them. Lesson 10: Avoiding unnecessary arguments. Wisely choose your battles. This advice has stood the test of time. But in today's world, it's more important than ever. In a world where every interaction feels like walking through a minefield, dealing with toxic individuals is like navigating a maze in the dark. You never know when you'll hit a dead end. The key isn't to charge at every wall, but to feel around, deciding which paths are worth taking. Some conflicts are just dead ends, energy drainers with no exits or treasures. Recognizing this can save you a lot of headaches. You'd be surprised to find that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not to react. Silence can be louder than any words you could throw into battle. When toxic individuals direct their negativity at you, they're often looking for a reaction, any sign that their words have hit home. By choosing not to engage, you're diminishing their power. It's not about ignoring the issue, but choosing not to let it control you. Your energy is precious, spend it on battles worth fighting. Beware of the trap of trying to change someone's toxic behavior through argument or reason. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline, it only fuels the flames. Instead, pose reflective questions, encourage them to see the issue from different angles. It's a shift from confrontation to conversation. This approach won't work every time, and that's okay. The goal isn't to win every time, but to maintain your peace and dignity throughout the process. Empathy is your shield on the battlefield, patience your sword. Trying to understand the other person's perspective doesn't mean you agree with them or condone their behavior. It means you're strong enough to rise above the surface. Remember, everyone is fighting their own battles, some of which you know nothing about. By practicing patience, you give yourself time to respond rather than react. It's not about being weak, it's about being wise. I invite you to take a moment to reflect on your encounters with difficult people. Have you noticed any patterns? Are there some fights that simply aren't worth your time? Remember, asceticism isn't about indifference, it's about not allowing your emotions to control you. It's about choosing where to focus your energy, knowing that not every battle is yours to fight. So, the next time you're faced with a potential argument, take a step back, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this really worth my peace? Lesson 11: Detecting false enthusiasm. Have you ever been surprised by how a simple discussion quickly escalates into a full-blown argument? It's like a small spark turning into a wildfire, destroying everything in its path. But the truth is, not every spark has to turn into a blaze, especially when dealing with toxic individuals. Understanding the concept of false enthusiasm is like having a fire extinguisher. It helps you recognize when someone is pretending to be on your side while secretly fueling the fire. Body language doesn't lie. A smile without warmth or arms tightly crossed over the chest are signs of insincerity, hinting at hidden motives rather than genuine concern. Pause and listen to the words left unsaid. Smooth talk lacking warmth in the voice, or an awkward laughter that doesn't fit the conversation's flow, speaks volumes more than words. These subtle differences in communication are like invisible clues, tugging at your intuition, guiding you to realize that things aren't always as they seem on the surface. How someone speaks is like a mirror reflecting their true intentions, and for those who choose to see, it's crystal clear. Now, think about it. Have you noticed patterns in people's behavior? Consistent actions reveal a person's true character, like a steady beat, unwavering and reliable. On the other hand, inconsistency, depending on who's watching, is like a leaf in the wind, signaling that displays of friendship are only superficial. This is crucial. Observing these patterns, consistency is key in the realm of interpersonal interactions. Being able to discern false enthusiasm isn't just about protecting yourself from the influence of toxic relationships, it's about fostering an environment where genuine connections can thrive. It's about being a true beacon of light in a sea of disguise, guiding others to the shores of genuine connection. Next time you feel a bit off, trust your gut, mind those signs, and remember, not every outstretched hand of friendship deserves a shake. Stay resolute for the road ahead, keeping your composure like a fortress, safeguarded by the wisdom of restraint. Exploring Stoicism not only aids in navigating toxic individuals, but also enriches your existence. Moreover, the profound depths of Stoic wisdom await you, so do join my channel. Perhaps it may inspire or assist you philosophically. And if you pass on these videos to those around you, maybe they too can benefit and enter the hallowed halls of philosophy. Thank you for watching. Until next time.